So many people hear of submission and they immediately think silence. So many people hear of leadership and the first thing that comes to their mind is control. But in the truest form, submission is not about losing your voice. It's about harmony. And leadership is not about dominance. It's about responsibility, vision, and love that serves. In this episode, we'll be uncovering and exploring the divine rhythm between submission and leadership. Not just as power struggle, but as spiritual dance between both partners. This conversation invites you to rethink what healthy partnership looks like, rooted in mutual honor, respect, emotional maturity, and shared purpose. We've heard the word submission used as a weapon. We've also seen leadership abused like a throne. Yet, when love was created, it wasn't built on control. It was built on harmony. Before you say I do, let's unlearn what culture told us and remember what truth reveals. The understanding. For years, submission has been painted as silence, as weakness, and as invisibility. But submission, in its essence, it's about alignment and not oppression. It's about yielding to something greater, to purpose, to peace, to partnership. And leadership isn't about dominance. It's not about being served. True leadership is about stewardship. It's the courage to carry love with wisdom, to protect, to guide, and not to control. The balance of two powers. A relationship was never built to be a battlefield of two egos. It's a balance of energy, each carrying strength to sustain the other. When leadership loses humility, love loses trust. And when submission loses voice, love loses truth. But when both are grounded in respect, something divine begins to unfold. A leader becomes a servant, and the one who yields becomes more powerful in peace. Spiritual blueprints. The truth is, both leadership and submission are spiritual postures. They flow from love, not fear, from understanding, not insecurities. When you know who you are, submission becomes a choice and not a chain. And leadership becomes a calling and not a crown. It is never about who is above the other. It is about both parties being under one purpose, one vision, and one God. Emotional maturity in roles. Emotional maturity is the secret ingredient that keeps these roles healthy. You cannot heal if you cannot listen. You cannot submit if you do not trust. If leadership feels like pressure, then it is not love. If submission feels like silence, then it is not love. In mature relationship, both are expressions of emotional intelligence. A language that says, I see you, I value you, and I honor you. Before you commit, before you walk down the aisle, ask yourself, can I trust this person's leadership enough to rest under it? Ask yourself, can I handle the weight of leadership without making it a throne? Because love without awareness will turn strength into struggle. But love with awareness will turn submission and leadership into a beautiful symphony. That's what partnership is. Not controlling the other, but both pouring into each other until purpose overflows. So, before you say I do, remember this: submission without respect is slavery. Leadership without service is tyranny. But together, when both are led by love, they create harmony. Let your partnership be a partnership of purpose, not war for control, but a dance where grace and wisdom leads the way. Because marriage is not a place for power to prove itself. It's a place for hearts to grow together. This is before I do a conscious journey into self-awareness and conscious marriage. Because marriage begins long before the wedding day. It begins with you.